we're going to show you how to install the ball mount for a Jurassic Park Jeep. This works if you're just putting on any regular whip antenna CB ball mount. We've got the Radio Shack brand one. I don't have it here to show you, but this is part of the backing plate for it, which we're using as a template. You want to set your hole about, the center of your hole about 4-ish finger widths in, depending on how big your hands are, and a couple down. You can see here I removed the W and the R from the Wrangler sticker. If you have this, it's a pretty good reference point. I'm right where between the W and the R is where the center of my hole is here, and the top of my hole is right along the bottom of the line that the top pinstripe makes. If I put this mounting plate on here, you can see just about how close it gets, about a finger's width away from the top there. Now I pulled the carpet away on the inside first. There's a seam right there, you just pull it apart, comes right off, before drilling the hole. I started off with a 1/8 inch bit as my pilot, gradually increased to a 3/16, finally a 7/32, and then we moved on to our hole saw. You'll want to get yourself a good bimetal hole saw kit. You'll need a 1-inch diameter bit at least. That's the one right here in this case. The hole saw will make short work of the tub, so mind anyone having their hand or anything on the inside, it'll go straight through pretty quick. We went in at gradual increments, just held on for a few seconds, took it off, let it cool off, went on a few seconds. You can use some WD-40 as an oil to keep well lubricated. So as you can see, we already have that whole first stage done, and we're going to move on to the next step, which is going to be adding the 3 mounting holes. Now with the tool, you're actually going to use it as a template to mark your 3 locations. You want to get a grease pen or a Sharpie or some other object to mark it with. Okay, now we've finished with the 1/8 inch drill bit. We are going to 3/16. Final size will be 9/32 per the Radio Shack ball antenna mount requirements. I flinched so much during this process.
That's a nice hat you got there.
Why, thank you. So we've laid out all our Radio Shack CB ball mount bases here. We've got all the components. We've also got our large heavy-duty Radio Shack CB antenna string. Before we attach all this to the tub with the holes we've drilled, I'm going to show you a little walkthrough. You've got your 3/8 24 thread count bolt right here with a split lock washer. It's going to hold the 2 halves of the ball mount together, which you're going to attach to the plastic and rubber bases on the outside of the tub, and then you'll have your metal ring on the inside of the tub. At the end here, you'll see we have a large threaded rod that is going to go through the tub hole into the base of the ball mount, and at the end of it, it's going to be secured with a large nut, as well as a terminal with an internal tooth lock washer and an 832 screw, and that's going to be for the signal wire of your CB to attach to. On the back end, on the outside, you'll have 3 screws that are 1032 going through the tub. On the inside, they'll get a lock washer each, and then they'll also get a 1032 nut. One of these will receive another terminal, which is for the shield wire of your CB cabling if your wiring gears up, then another lock washer, and finally one more nut. So we're going to show you how this all attaches and put it together. The instructions come quite self-explanatory. You're going to start off by putting the 2 hemispheres of your ball mount together. Try and line up the notch on the inside as close as you can to the actual antenna hole here. This is where your spring and antenna will go in. Insert the 3/8 bolt with the lock washer on it. Give this a nice, snug tightening. You want this to be extra strong in case any objects impact your antenna. They won't knock the spheres loose. So don't be afraid to give this a nice, extra snug fit. We now got these two halves together. Set those down for a moment. We're going to get our plastic base. And this is where the threaded rod comes in. Insert it with the plastic on there and the internal tooth lock ring. Once it stops turning manually, take your wrench, make sure it's extra snug too. I'm going to secure all this together by taking your large nut here, just thread it on. Now, because we've got a plastic part, you want to be a little more gentle with this, but get it to where it just takes the palm of your hand to turn. Be careful not to crack your plastic base. So we've got all this together, and now we're ready to mount it on the tub. So we've inserted the 3 1032 screws. We've also got the rubber gasket on here. We can also see that I've installed the 832 screw with the internal ring lock washer and the electrical terminal. We're going to carefully slip that through. Get your 3 screw holes lined up and press it against the body. On the inside, we're going to install the nuts and the metal retaining plate.
I was gonna say it's probably easier from this side.
I don't want to block the camera.
That's no worries.
Follow up with one of your 1032 nut. On one of your terminals, add an additional lock washer. Actually, I don't want to do that first. So first I'm going to go through tightening it down. Do this.
I mean, you can come to this side if you need to.
No, it's fine. Okay, using a 3/8 inch box wrench and a flathead screwdriver, proceed to tighten all 3 of the nuts. Once everything is secure, add a lock washer to one of the 3 posts. Add your remaining terminal so that you don't lose it. And finally, add the last nut.